Welcome back. As we mentioned, it is Election Day here in Arizona. Voters casting ballots in our state's presidential preference election. Now, Arizona won't have much of an impact in the primaries, but it's a crucial state that both Democrats and Republicans hope to win in November.
So our News 4 Tucson team has coverage from across southern Arizona as well as Maricopa County, where voters have been gathering all day long. We have News 4 Tucson's Gabrielle Parrish joining us live from downtown. But first, our political specialist Eric Fink live in Phoenix as those polls are still open for a few hours. Eric, the largest county in the state, usually tells us a lot.
Sure does, Monica, Sean. Good afternoon to you both. We're just outside the Maricopa County Elections Department here in Phoenix, where election workers will be tabulating votes just a little later on this evening. Maricopa County, not only a swing state in Arizona, but a swing state nationally. It tells us so much about this state and about presidential races and down ballot races as well. So far in this presidential preference election, we're at about 30% turnout, but that's not a big surprise because things are pretty much set. This general election rematch is very likely going to happen in November. So just a couple of moments ago, I spoke with the spokesperson here for the Maricopa County Recorder's Office, and she tells me about 540,000 ballots were returned out of more than 1.2 million early ballots sent to registered Democrats and registered Republicans here in Maricopa County. The number of early returns down where we are in Pima County, 150,000. Election Day also sees President Joe Biden coming to Arizona. He'll have two campaign events here in the Valley, one tonight in Phoenix focused on Latino outreach as the Biden campaign looks to energize that part of the Democratic base that helped him win Arizona and the presidency in 2020. And then tomorrow morning, the president will be in Chandler, where he'll speak at the Intel campus. Now, one thing we'll be looking at tonight when some of the results start to come in, some progressive Democrats organizing what they want to see as a protest vote. They want some Democrats to mark their ballot for Marianne Williamson as a protest vote against President Biden because of his handling of the war in Gaza. That group's target number, about 10,500. That's also the number that President Biden won Arizona in back in 2020. So we'll be looking at that. On the other side, former President Donald Trump, he is yet to campaign in Arizona this cycle. GOP Senate candidate Kari Lake will be holding an election night watch party with Trump supporters later this evening here in Phoenix. So polls are still open across the state until 7 o'clock. Much of the early returns, much of the early vote, remember Arizona has 27 days of early voting, much of that vote will be back, returned in a batch just after 8 o'clock. So we'll be standing by for those results, and we'll see you again for another live report coming up at 5 o'clock. For now, we're live in Phoenix. I'm Eric Fink, News 4 Tucson.
All right, thank you, Eric. Closer to home, if you haven't cast your